Good afternoon, guys. We are in a very important lesson. A very important lesson. We are going to learn about gymnosperms. Get ready. First of all, class, gymnosperms are seed-bearing plants in which the seeds form on the outer surface of the reproductive structures. Gymnosperms, in essence, means naked seed. Gymno meaning naked and sperm meaning seed. Now, there will be 4 types of gymnosperms, and we will be going into depth in all 4 of them. First is the cycads. Second is the conifers. Third is the ginkgos. And lastly, fourth is the nettophytes. Okay guys, we will be first exploring gymnosperm number 1, cycads. The scientific classification for cycads are Cycadaphyta. These species of gymnosperms used to live in the Permian ages as well, which was almost 200 million years ago. Their leaves are pinnate leaves, which means that their leaves are like palm trees, and their trunks are short and stout. They have motile sperms, which means that their sperms need a medium, which is water, to travel to the egg during sexual reproduction. Cycads have one interesting fact. All cycads have coralloid roots, and these roots contain cyanobacteria, or blue-green algae, which can fix nitrogen in the air and produce beneficial amino acids in the root tissues. Gymnosperm number 2, conifers. The scientific classification for conifers are Pinophyta. These conifers are the most varied gymnosperms in the world. Most conifers are evergreens, such as this one shown, and they have needle-like leaves that are wax-coated because it helps them save water during high temperatures. Gymnosperm number 3, ginkgos. Ginkgos are also called Ginkgophyta. They can live up to 3,000 years old and can reach a height of 80 inches. These trees have fan-shaped leaves, and when they produce seeds, they release a stinky smell of butyric acid. The main fact about ginkgo trees are that they can endure any polluted environment to some extent. For example, during the atomic bombing of Japan, there were 4 trees that were charred black, but still living. These were the ginkgo trees. We'll be finally exploring gymnosperm number 4, nettophytes. Nettophytes are scientifically called nettophyta, obviously. Next, they also can live for 1,000 years. They also lived 1,000 years ago as well, and they are divided into 3 subcategories with a total of 77 species. The first category is called nettum. The second category is called epidera, and lastly, the third category is called welwitschia. Hope you enjoy. The nettum plant is a plant that grows in the tropics or the subtropical areas. They usually grow up as tree vines with leathery leaves wrapping around larger plants. The epidera plant is a plant that consists of 35 species of mostly shrubs with small scale-like leaves and jointed stems. They have discusated leaves, which means that each pair of leaves are at right angles with one another. Welwitschia is a plant that has a large taproot and a short stem. There are only 1 or 2 species of this plant, and they are only found in the deserts of Namibia and Angola, Africa. This plant is nicknamed the living fossil because although it looks dead, they are alive and strong. Lastly, all nettophytes do not have motile sperms, meaning that they don't have a flagellum, because a tube grows from the eggs to unite the pollen tubes for fertilization to occur in the gametophytes. Therefore, there is no need for the sperms to have a flagellum. I will now be talking of the historical evolution of gymnosperms and where they came from, as well as how they and what ancestor they had. The historical evolution started with the green algae. Over time, they evolved into many of the different categories of plant kingdom. For example, During 400 million years ago, early vascular and non-vascular plants started to appear, and then seed plants, and finally angiosperms and gymnosperms. Thank you for watching my presentation. And remember, don't ever forget my gymnosperm lesson.